So question 9, how is this new learning strategy and technique different from the traditional approach?
Well, we no longer see learning as separated by different subjects. It's more integrated, I think. This approach is far more interesting and engaging for the students. I've said that all the way through, and it's clearly obvious when you see the students working on their problems. Wow. One thing I think is that this approach, it's not so much looking at the outcomes, and it's more the process that they go through and the learning journey that they go through rather than the product. So, and I feel that has been really, that's a difference from the traditional approach, and it's something that is probably looking at their learning rather than the actual final product.
Absolutely.
And then most importantly, I think the students feel connected. It's connecting to their lives. It's real life.
Yeah.
And students have more buy-in because they're learning, it's purposeful. And that's why they're more engaged, because they feel like they're actually making a difference because they're solving a problem that is real. So
yeah, I really like that. Like, there's a purpose for their learning. So that really sticks, it's not like, I just have to learn this because it's in the syllabus. I just have to learn this because the teacher said so. Exactly. So really like that they can connect, and you articulated that so well. So following from there, our next question is, and I think you mentioned part of this was the Expo. So I want to talk about, how do you celebrate student learning?
Well, we had an Avalon Learning Expo. And the reason for it was we wanted to engage the parents in their children's learning. And we also wanted the students to have a authentic audience to showcase the learning and their work that they'd been doing, which was providing powerful student voice for the students. So we had a learning expo where we invited all the parents in the community to the school, and it went over 2 days. Okay. The first day was, we sort of said it was a practice, but it also gave the students an opportunity to see what each other grades are doing.
Yeah.
We're a big school. We have 940 students. So, it sort of took them from the bubble of the classroom, and they got to go and visit other classrooms and see what other students have been doing in classrooms on their problems in there and how they were doing it. And it also gave them an opportunity to practice articulating their learning to the students so that they could be better at it when their parents arrived.
Yeah, well, that's a good way of ironing out any issues or anything questions they couldn't answer. They may have had to think about some of the stuff.
And then the following day, we had the parents come in and they did it again.
Right.
And it was probably one of the most amazing days in my whole career as a teacher, and I've been teaching for a very long time, because it was just so exciting. There was a buzz. It wasn't just sit down, let me show you your work, which was what our usual open days looked like. We had booths set up. We had rooms set up with models and things on computers and QR codes where the parents could scan on their telephone, on their mobile phone, and watch their kids' videos. The kids spoke to them. They had things like, there was one particular group that were raising money for endangered animals, and they had, their whole unit of work had been on researching the animals that were endangered or becoming extinct, and they had designed fridge magnets, bookmarks, calendars, cupcakes, you name it, they had it, and they raised money, and then they gave that money to an association for endangered animals. So it was just amazing. I remember my principal, who's been a very pivotal part of this whole process. I remember him walking into the hall where all of year 6 were articulating their learning, and he actually was crying.
Oh, wow.
Because,
well, when you're talking about that, I'm getting goosebumps. And it's like, whoa.
because honestly, it was so amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just, this is what learning is about.
Mhm.
This is, and you're not going to get that with a traditional approach. So yeah.
Well, just him, him seeing that, and you talk about him crying, my eyes are welling up like, whoa.
It was the most amazing day. And if we hadn't been put into lockdown last year and this year, because we had plans in place to do 2 more expos and we've been unable to do it, but it's still on our radar, and we definitely want to do it again next year. So here's hoping that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Ashley, that is just so mind-blowing. It's just amazing. The journey to actually, you talk us through the journey, and culminating at this celebration of that journey is just, no wonder your principal cried, and I'm sure you cried too, Ashley, and many teachers.
I was a little bit teary.
Yeah, a little bit. I heard otherwise, but anyway, I know time is valuable, so it's our last question. And of course, this last question is going to be about the pandemic. We can't not mention that. So during the lockdown, did your efforts in adopting solution fluency help, given that children were being taught remotely?
I think a lot of our modern learning journey that we have been embarking on, and has been a lot about the solution fluency in the 9Ds. And through that process, we have also introduced iPads into the classroom and with the teachers as well. So that's been a big part that I haven't really talked about, the digital technology side of it, which is a massive part of our modern learning journey as well. Mm-hmm. And I feel like adopting those skill sets without a doubt helped with remote learning. The digital skills alone and the devices the students had the opportunity to use in the classroom, and the teachers building their skill set in that area as well, definitely made the transition so much easier when we did go to remote learning. The teachers were used to using apps when they were doing their Zoom lessons with their kids. They were making the lessons highly interactive and engaging the kids through things like Kahoots, and which are those quizzes and things like that. They definitely, the skills that they have learned over the past few years, both teachers and students, has definitely helped make that transition to remote learning so much easier. And I think just the skills that they've learnt through the solution fluency with the collaboration side of it has definitely, just that increase in those skills has definitely helped them through this time. Teachers have had to work together even more so than what they've had to normally, because they're working remotely from home. They've needed that skill set to be able to provide those programs for the students. And that collaboration side has definitely helped as well. So I think, yes, in answer to your question, the adopting this modern learning journey and the solution fluency has without a doubt helped make that transition into remote learning so much easier.
And for the kids too, I'm guessing
for the students as well. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Both teachers and students, definitely. Yeah.
Wow, Ashley, my head is just buzzing. And I'm sure our viewers' heads are buzzing too. So I'm going to say thank you so much. And we're looking forward to having you at one of our workshops where you can share more with teachers. And I'm sure they're going to love to hear more from you rather than from somebody like me who's, you know, been in education and you know, framed this model, but somebody who actually uses it and has used it and is still using it and promoting it. Thank you so much. You know, education needs people like you, and please keep doing what you do. So,
oh, thanks so much, Nikki. Look, I couldn't have done it without you and Ian. So, you know, it's been wonderful. And thank you. Collaboration, exactly. But it's been lovely, and anytime I'm really happy to share, because
I just love
really
your willingness to share, and you have done this not just within New South Wales, Australia, but within the the country itself, but also globally. You've shared too, and we've taken some of the stuff that you've done and we put it out there. Our latest book has your lesson and unit plans in there. So thank you so much for that, and the work that you do.
Now, before we conclude, I just want to give a brief summary of the fluencies. So, the fluencies provide students with learning experiences that allow them to make a difference in their personal lives and the lives of others. In learning the fluencies, students not only discover how to solve real problems and make decisions, but also they develop critical skills that will help them leverage personal agency, voice, and power as a responsible citizen. To get a better perspective on the fluencies, please watch our previous tutorials. Thank you for joining me for this 10th tutorial in the series. I hope you enjoyed the session as much as I did. In the next session, we will be talking to another amazing educator. If you enjoyed the session, please give us a thumbs up. And if you can, leave a comment below and also tell us a little bit about yourself and from where you are. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you are notified when we upload new videos. I also want to remind you that if you want to dive deeper into any one of the fluencies, we will be holding workshops during which we walk you through all the steps so that you will be able to apply your learning immediately with your students. Ashley will also join us to share more about her experiences as a classroom practitioner using the fluencies. To know when these workshops are taking place, watch the space. Thanks for watching. See you soon.